Americans are increasingly embracing cashless transactions. The number of people opting for digital payments rose from 24% to 41% between 2015 and 2022. As a result of this trend, the Federal Reserve has devised a plan to introduce the digital dollar, a blockchain-based alternative to physical cash. Could this mean that in the near future, Americans will forego their wallets and instead rely solely on their smartphones to pay for everyday purchases like groceries? Hello everyone and welcome back to Mir Media. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive into the digital dollar. We'll take a look at what the digital dollar even is and how it's different from the online payments that we make today. We'll also explore whether the advantages associated with it are substantial and compelling enough to warrant a complete replacement of physical currency. Before we proceed, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, could I please request that you do so? We're a team that's working really hard to bring you these videos, and we need to reach 1,000 subscribers so YouTube will allow us to monetize our channel. Your support means everything to us, even if it's free. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. The concept of digital currencies isn't entirely new. In October 2020, the Bahamas was the first country to launch a digital currency called the Sand Dollar, through which it aimed to promote access to regulated payments and financial services for underbanked and unbanked populations. It also aimed to increase the efficiency of the Bahamian payment system through more secure transactions and faster settlement speed. According to the Atlantic Council's Central Bank Digital Currency Tracker, 10 more countries have since fully launched a digital currency, while 18 are in the pilot stage and 32 are in the development stage. In August 2020, China piloted the eCNY, which became the first digital currency to be issued by a major economy. The digital yuan app was officially launched for iOS and Android on Chinese app stores in 2022. While the app had been available to some users in China for over a year under limited pilot programs, this is the first time that it is freely available for anyone to download and use in any of the selected pilot cities. China's launch of the eCNY is likely one of the motivations behind why the US is now also considering the development of a digital currency. The yuan poses a threat to the dollar's position as the global reserve, and China has actively promoted its use in trade to undermine the dollar's dominance, especially in the wake of sanctions imposed on Russia as a result of its attack on Ukraine. Also of significance is the fact that virtually all countries trade with China in some capacity, and a digital yuan will only make trade with the country easier, quicker, and more convenient, further threatening the status of the dollar as the global reserve. In 2022, 50% of international trade was conducted using the US dollar. A digital dollar will enable faster and more convenient cross-border transactions, helping to further solidify the dollar's presence in the international market. The rise of cryptocurrencies is also something that can't be ignored. According to CNBC, approximately 20% of the adult American population has transacted in crypto. The growth in the popularity of crypto can be attributed to the fact that it provides users with complete control over their funds, free from the influence of any external regulatory organization. While some argue that cryptocurrencies are inconvenient and highly volatile, the reality is that they've gained immense popularity in just a decade. Since Bitcoin was first launched in 2009, many competing currencies have emerged and their collective value today exceeds $1 trillion. So it isn't entirely implausible to think that cryptocurrencies could eventually dethrone the dollar as more countries legalize their use. America clearly has enough motivation to launch a digital version of the dollar, but how exactly would a digital dollar even work? How will it be different from the cashless transactions that we currently engage in? And what, if any, benefits will it offer to consumers and to the country? Cashless transactions through debit or credit cards involve multiple steps like card swiping and PIN entry. Most importantly, though, these transactions aren't really cashless and involve the physical transfer of funds between banks. A central bank digital currency, or in other words, the digital dollar, is something that everyone will be able to seamlessly access and utilize, even from their smartphones, bypassing the need for physical cards and passwords. This sounds a lot like cryptocurrency, but it isn't exactly the same thing as crypto either. Cryptocurrency transactions are purely virtual, encrypted to ensure security, and recorded on a public ledger called the blockchain, which maintains a comprehensive record of each coin, preventing duplication. The blockchain is also decentralized and eliminates the need for banks as intermediaries, and this is exactly why the digital dollar will differ from traditional cryptocurrencies. It won't be decentralized and will instead be regulated by the Federal Reserve, which will also keep a record of all transactions made in the currency. Despite what skeptics might have you believe, a digital version of the dollar will actually have many plus points for both citizens and lawmakers. For starters, it will help to improve financial inclusivity in America by making mobile banking universally accessible. This will prove especially beneficial for the 6% of Americans who are unbanked and the 16% who are underbanked. A digital dollar will also give the Fed more control over the money supply, making monetary policy more effective. In the current system, the Fed controls the money supply by manipulating interbank interest rates, which then get passed on to consumers. This process works, but it's quite slow and inefficient. A digital dollar will allow the Fed to efficiently apply interest rates directly to the digital wallets of citizens, which will be especially helpful during times of economic crisis when quick action is needed. The Fed will also have direct access to real-time data related to spending patterns, economic activity, and consumer behavior, which will allow it to make more timely, informed decisions and adjust monetary policy accordingly. Better visibility into economic transactions will also help reduce the size of the shadow economy and enhance tax collection. Another key benefit of a digital dollar is the fact that it will reduce the need to print money. In 2017, the US government spent $673.8 million on printing money. In addition to being expensive, printing money is also not environmentally friendly. And while there are, of course, costs associated with digital systems as well, like maintaining servers or charging your smartphone, with the increased use of renewable energy, these will likely continue to decline in the future. Concerns related to cyber attacks on digital wallets are also overblown, especially in light of the fact that 300,000 physical wallets are also stolen annually. Cyber attacks are actually quite rare, and the US government should be able to prevent them with good security protocols. This brings us to another important question around how a digital dollar will stand up against traditional cryptocurrencies. Here too, a central bank digital currency has advantages that make it significantly more desirable. First off, cryptocurrencies are decentralized and require solving super difficult computing problems to get a count unit. The mining process requires a lot of computing power, and as of July 2022, only the mining of Bitcoin accounted for 0.4% of global electricity consumption and emitted around 22 million metric tons of carbon. In the case of the digital dollar, however, the fact that it'll be centralized under the Federal Reserve means that it won't require energy-hungry procedures to mine. Secondly, cryptocurrencies are also not a direct, widely accepted replacement for cash, and even as stores of value or investments, they're highly volatile. They're associated with illegal activities like money laundering, drug trafficking, and corruption, since there's no authority looking over them. Criminal activities related to crypto hit $14 billion in 2022, an issue that a CBDC with government oversight will easily address. But as with anything, central bank digital currencies aren't without their disadvantages either. Experts believe that a digital dollar could be an instrument of government control, since the state will have visibility into every transaction, even if on the surface it commits to keeping transactions anonymous. The concept of a digital currency also goes against traditional banking. If the Federal Reserve starts issuing money to people directly on their digital wallets, what role banks will play in the economy is an open question. As things currently stand, the Federal Reserve hasn't made a decision on issuing a CBDC, but even if a digital dollar is launched, it seems unlikely that it will replace its tangible counterpart. It will likely only complement physical cash and open more payment options for users. Let me know how you think that things will play out in this domain in the comments below. Thank you for staying with me till the end. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.